A good evening. Doing it to you on a Tuesday. Technically Wednesday. But Tuesday, if you're west of me. And we have the off-season spectacular plan. Chat participation encouraged, but we will not be delaying to wait for people to participate. Lots of roster decisions to make, lots of holes to fill, some goodbyes to be said, and hopefully a more competitive team to come out of it. I don't know how long this is going to take. It might not take long. It may take another episode. I'm going to try to really do some analysis of players, and in my well thought out plan, I thought, why don't I just add up all of their rankings, those numbers that we look at on their training, and kind of use Wilhelmsen as the baseline. Whatever his combined rating is, with some bias towards defense and those skills. Anybody that has less than him is not somebody we want to hire or sign. And then some of these other players, Bjornsson, Ragnarsson, they're starting to get too expensive. I don't think we can really go above 40 grand a player for bench guys. But in my other spark of genius, sarcasm heavy, I was thinking I need to really get an idea of how much money I have to fill the roster spots and what general average dollar amount per contract that is, knowing that I want to replace Mike Cook's salary basically for one that's just as big, maybe a little bit bigger, because I hopefully will save some money on bench players. And so what else was I going to do? I think with the departing players, I wanted to get a baseline on what their average or what their total rating score is, and then making sure that we only seek out players as replacements equal or better than them. So, and I don't know if this is technically the off season for season 2, off season of season 1. So, I got both. And I was probably going to make this video kind of the wall in between season 1 and season 2, and probably put this video in the season 1 playlist, or maybe both. I don't know. Can I do that? Yeah, I can do that. And as I've been doing this long enough now, I do see some of my videos expiring on Twitch. So if you want to see them, most of season 1 or the parts of it that want just the worst possible audio technical difficulties that you could probably see or find, once we kind of got things figured out, all those videos of a reasonable quality or better are on Hot Rodacy YouTube site, and that's easy enough to find, I think. But also, I'll try to get that information on my Twitter pinned to the profile instead of the snarky Yasiel Puig quote I have there. Instead, I'm a Reds fan. Not to get too off topic and talk baseball, but lot of optimism for this year. The team's got a good power lineup now that actually suits the stadium they play in, and maybe a pitching staff that can overachieve and get us in the playoffs. Most likely they're going to have injury troubles, and we're going to have people that churn and burn. But I am trying to stay optimistic, and just to tie it back and get over this, the Yasiel Puig defenders, the people in Cincinnati who were like ravenously or rabidly, either way, just going out of their way to defend a guy who has kind of a checkered past. He's also had some inconsistencies. Not to mention, the Dodgers just were, for whatever reason, gung-ho on getting him out of there. And I don't feel like those are all good selling points. So, I want him to do well. Just try to keep people tempered in their expectations. That said, enough waiting. Sorry the stream kicked off a little bit late. I thought that this one might be kind of a long one, maybe. I just thought I'd better get all the hurdles and everything out of the way instead of trying to plan to wrap it up right now. We're just getting started, so get you some cocaine or some coffee or a little both, or beer, wine. Yeah, nice bourbon. Something to bite you a little bit, wake you up. We're gonna get it. So, I'm gonna have to do some fucking math, adding up these things. I could get a calculator, but it's so far away from one. And then one other thought that crossed my mind was, should I put any preference as I go free agent hunting? Should I seek out Icelandic national team players as a coach of the team? I don't know if there's any hometown discount I can get by trying to sign them. Can't say. So first things first, I suppose. Let's do this baselining that I've mentioned. Using Wilhelmsen is pretty much the bare minimum. Everybody on our team has to be better than him. Right. Check my math. We have 6 plus 8, 14, plus 7, 21, plus 8, 29, plus 5, 34, plus, forget experience. I'm not going to. So is that 34? 14, 21, 29, 34. For his physical. And I feel like breaking them down in those ways is okay. Because if I see a guy whose physical is a little lower, but he's older and so his offense and defense is good, we'll kind of have a margin of error, standard deviation we can accept. Physical 34. I don't think this is that scientific, but It might be the easiest thing I can do with a limited text. I mean, I could look at stats and crunch some more numbers, and I will do that just to take them into consideration, I guess. But Wilhelmsen doesn't have much along the way of stats. 7 minutes a game most. Get a point, not even. Yeah, rebounds. I mean, these numbers aren't really gonna tell me anything, so no reason to compare that. So 34 for physical. Offensive. Defensive. Okay, offense. 8 plus 6. 14 plus 3. 17. 22. 24. 28. 31. 33. I'm going to say, just for ease of recall and to raise the standard a little bit, we're going to say that physical and offensive numbers need to be at 34 each or higher. My defense, he's 6 plus 7 is 13. 13 plus 9, 22, 27. I feel like his defense is probably his highest point, or his physical. The offensive numbers will probably be pretty easy to meet. I'm glad I inflated that 1, but it's not a real high target, I don't feel like. His inside, yeah, his offensive rebounding, passing, inside ball handling are so freaking bad. And if I fairly assess that, so I've just unwound why he's so cheap. His worth is not much. Like, man, I could make you feel some self-worth. Alright, physical, offense, defense, those are Wilhelmsen's bench line. I'm just going to call him Bilge. I hope he doesn't mind. Bilge. Hey, brother. Okay. There's that. And then Gunnarsson or Bjornsson, one of the two. Did I sign one of these guys? I tried to sign one of them. If we were going to get one of them, Bjornsson, because he's cheaper, but he wants a bigger fee. And there's Bjarnason, who's leading the team, that I thought maybe I should check on floating him a contract. I think I already did, so let's see what he does. Gunnarsson or Bjornsson? He's a 9.66, 8.68. Let's just see how those numbers stack up to Bilge's. 10 plus 3, 13, 22, 33, 40, 46. Damn, son. back up. Gunnarsson's the one that wants the bigger butt, but look at his speed. I don't know if I should be trying to lock these dudes up. It's 3 points. Checking their height. This dude's got no offense, basically. Slower ball handling. Ball handling's an issue here. He's taller. Alright, so we're just going to create the Gunnarsson standard. Gunnarsson. And anybody that we sign has to be 45K or cheaper for the bench, I feel like. His defensive numbers are 24. That's lower than Bilge's. Offense 16, 27, 31, 34, 42, 50. That's so much higher than Bilge's. So I feel like we should be shooting for like 30 on defense, 40 on offense. And then like this guy's physical was pretty high up there too. 15, 25, 45, 51. And I might be in a little bit of a log jam situation if Gunnarsson signs with us. We've got Bilge signed for like 3 years. Rainsson signed for 3 years. Augustsson. And then us trying to get an offensive stud somewhere in free agency. And then our academy players that are coming up in a year or two. Maybe that'll work out by the time the other guys are leaving. So let's add this up again. 15, 25, 45, 51. So I'm going to say physical needs to be like 40 to 45. If we're adding XP, which I didn't. So let's try again. 10, 15, 25, 45. Say maybe about 40. I'm going to say 45. We have to have a high standard. And then if nobody will sign with us, or there's nobody that's reasonable, like gonna fit this mold, we can relax it a little bit. But I'm saying 45 on physical. His offense 16, 27, 31, 34, 42, 50. So let's say about 45. So his offense might be higher than a regular guy. The 3 points so high. It's scary to think. There's kind of a theme going on here. 45, 45. And we're also going to try to keep that salary below 45. which is just a wild ballpark, but I will try to break the budget down to see what it needs to be generally, so what I was trying to say, what it generally should be. So 45K or less for these bench guys. 45 is all over. The defense, though, what do we got here? 12, 22, 24. The rebounds are what's just so terribly low there. So I'm going to say the 27 of Bilge should be about the lowest we'll take. Okay. I'm writing this down to make sure I don't forget this. Keep me honest. Try to keep this rule of thumb in check. Alright. Contract expenses. Looks like we've got budgeted about 835. Okay. At least this game keeps it simple, and I don't think contracts can be like back-ended or front-ended or variable. I think it's you get this amount per year for the duration. So that's kind of easy for me. My unsophisticated budgeting system that I'm writing on a piece of paper that has crayon all over it. I have notebooks like this from my childhood, and I mean everything from like Sega Genesis passwords to get back to like NBA, what was it? Blazers versus Bulls, whatever that was called. Great game. I think I had some codes for like Mortal Kombat maybe too, and Mutant League Football. That was the one. There was no saved games. Just typed in a code. Pretty interesting. Alright, so 836,000 is what we're generally allotted. I'll go to them to ask for some more money and see what happens. Let's do that now. Make more money available. I don't know when I get to the point when I make this an ultimatum. I guess once we feel like we're done here in Iceland. Like season ranking. Maybe I didn't go up very much. All I want is acceptance and heaps of praise. Okay. And so we can reasonably assume, and I'm going to have to get a calculator out, I think, because I don't want to do these larger numbers. Okay, August, about 1 year. Let's see if I can do this. 101. Yeah, let's see here. 101. Inerson, we got 1 more year. 42. Alright, Mula 48. And that's, I mean, the driving hope. You see Mula is a pretty solid player for 48. If I have a guy like him off the bench and I've got somebody better than him, I think that's when it's safe to say the team is stepping forward. I don't know. I think that the way that the team was funded with Thomason not really being a star, Cook getting paid too much for what he was, and then Hermanson and Eliasson being redundant. One of those guys, 90K, is going to be a pretty solid player, and then the other person could be a pretty solid player that's not the same position. And then I think getting rid of Ragnarsson, that's going to be another decent player. I mean, that can be like another Mula. So I get so excited, I start chitty chatting, losing track of the math here. Is that it? We got 5 people under contract. Bill Holmeson at a big $25,000 a year. Okay, these numbers add up to 42 and 48 is 90, plus 101 is 191, plus 47, shit. Let's try this again. 101 plus 47, 148, plus 42 is 190, plus 48, 238, plus 25 is 243. Oh shit, I lost track. Where's that one? 238 plus 25, 263. No question mark. That's right. 263. 263. 263. Okay. More math. 836. Subtract 263. We have 3, 7, 573. Is that right? Yes. 573 is our remaining budget. I believe they'll throw a little money at me. I feel like I asked them nicely. Let's see though. So 573. Let's look at how many guys are on our active roster now. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's about what I thought. So 573 divided by 7 is at least 80K a player. How many of these are starters? 2 of them. Let's say we want 150K. Man, about that. 150K per starter. I don't know if that's enough. I gotta get 7 more guys. Let's say both starters are 180. That's 360. 210 divided by 5. Just 40, 42, 43. That's doable. That's doable. That's doable. So our starters, unless Bjarnason signs, I don't know what I offered him. Was it 20K? That could be a steal that kind of tips me back towards being able to spend heavy on the starters. Does it say that we offered them contracts? I mean, we saw that he had a note there that said he. Let's just simulate a couple days and see. Alright, so I think the thought is we have roughly 180K for our 2 starters. That leaves roughly 213 for 5 bench players. Roughly 43,000, 43K a piece. And we were looking at trying to keep it at 45K. Remember? So this almost becomes like a daily fantasy league kind of, except it's just once. So it's, I guess it's more like a regular fantasy where you use rotisserie style or salary cap style. But that's fun stuff. I enjoy that. And here I am doing this, enjoying it, having the time of my life. Okay. That's really all the math. That's good. It's over with. So this, just need to keep the two starters under 180 apiece, or on the average with the two under 180. So we got another thank you next letter. Thorough administration is sorry to say that it's impossible at the time to satisfy your demands and hopes this won't affect your work. Well, you all kind of were just chill about me not hitting my goal or whatever of semifinals. So I can be chill. Sorry, I just was noticing our friendly game that started the season, and I'm like, are they actually in our league? No, still Slovakian league. I should go shopping here. Dominos. This is the kind of player. We get another big guy up front for like 110. Then I can possibly spend 200, 250 on one of my starters, and now we're doing some stuff, I think. So I think I should probably just get on it. We're waiting to see if John Arson signed. He did not. Defensive rebounding of Halton is now slightly improved. Too bad. I think this is the guy they said was going to leave. His rebounding is getting better, but he's not very good at anything else. So we'll move along one more day to see what happens with Arson. I'm really not sure when these guys come off my roster. I don't know really if I'm supposed to start now going after free agents. I don't know when the free agent pool will include guys that were on a squad this year. And there are tons of free agents. For some reason I couldn't find some guys, but I don't want to narrow the pool that much. Okay, so Bjarnason did sign. Did I ever add his numbers up to see if he passes the Wilhelmsen baseline? 6 plus 2, 8, 14, 24, 31. Well, he's 3 short there. And the standard we set for our free agents was 45. Okay. Let's see, offense. 7 plus 5, 12, 17, 23, 33, 38, 40. He beats the Wilhelmsen baseline there, but not what we want for our free agent signing baseline. And then defense, 7 plus 18, that's 25, 31. Yeah, he exceeds actually. mean, he's ours, so. Let me go ahead and write him in on the roster. And that essentially means we've got another 20 grand. Because we were budgeting about 45 per bench player. And this guy is under 45 by 20 grand, so I'm saying each starter could be an average of 190K. This team, I have to think, is instantly going to be much better. We had some decent players that weren't that good, but they were not playing and getting paid more than Vilhelmsson and Bjarnason are. So they can sit at the end of the bench for cheap. I might have even been able to get cheaper guys. But these fellows are good enough that they're not going to make me lose instantly if they get on the court. And I think it's an investment too. If this fellow's already 22, like his worth is already 22 a season, I'm paying him 25. Then the next 2 years, I believe he's going to be above his value. So we're trying to do the thing. Still not 100% certain or able to confirm that the game honors my logic and somewhat data-driven decisions. That might be all the game needs to be like, okay, yeah, you win. You found the exploit where you just sign players for value, but I mean, that's not a new thing. It's the Patriot way, I believe. So, back to my uncertainty about where we really are with like the cutoff and when does something tell me, okay, players enter the free agency pool. I'm going to find some music instead of the vaporwave stuff that always seems to end up playing when I'm streaming on here. Some more emotional here, old classic folk noir. So I'm not, like I said, I'm not sure what the schedule is. What happens? There's nothing on here that says free agency. Have I ever clicked that before? Calendar? It highlights and it made a click noise. There ain't nothing. Still no schedule for the Icelandic national team. So I'm not sure when to start this hunt. I just don't know when to start it. I'm gonna make sure my guys are all doing okay. Alright. Looks like it mostly. Alright, we got Bjarnason working for us now. We need to get him doing some double time with the workouts. I'm not sure. Let's get him on his Stamina's not that good, but let's continue to work on the defense and quickness. That passing is really low for a guard. But his offensive skills are not good at all. No, I don't care. I'm going to shoot free throws. He gets into a game. Free throws wasn't the best. Is this 3-point decent? Not decent, but you can do something with it. I like the drive. Fuck all of my earlier thoughts. Let's do that. And then, yeah, we don't really know what's going on, so let's just zoom a week. About a week? 5 days. And we'll just sit here and be with our thoughts. Christ be with you. Thine is the glory. Man, it seems like this could take a long time. I might already be planning part 2.
She nearly burned the town again.
It's a goddamn calculator in his drawer right beside him.
She covered with her hands. It says a little useless praise. Never heard.
Just listen to the man, Jason Williams. Never gets old.
It's like nothing's got a pulse. It's like nothing's got a pulse. This whole damn place, right down to the clocks. Nothing's got a pulse. Remember, darling, how quiet it got. Leave her alone. Let her go home. Leave her alone. Let her go. So she don't have to say to you how pathetic I mean. She covered her heart with her hands and says a little useless praying. Never hurts anything. That must be her up there. Perfume and cigarette smoke in her wild. She smells a little like a train. Hauling lilacs through the rain. I can't tell that she's crying. I'll pretend again. She sees them total destruction as she goes running to. I'm finally showing her the switch. How I learned to hold it in my teeth. How she's got to keep one razor sharp, bloody piece of her old broken heart. And she's gotta use that edge to carve across her heart. Something deep enough to hurt. So it always reminds her. Deep enough to last. Darling, honey, won't you rest?
We're so mentally ill. Just don't forget to take your medicine. I apologize. I hadn't listened to Jason in a little bit. Heard that song, and this next one's a good one too. To just kind of go into the nether regions. Just leave your body for a second. But we do have some training progress for Hermanson, who's leaving us soon. It's gone quite a ways. Asmundsen still has a ways to go, but his 3 and D might be in 2 years the next guy we sign. So I need to remind myself to probably not try to sign guys to 3-year deals. Keep 2 for the younger guys, or not the younger guys, but these wild card people I'm going to sign as free agents outside of our organization. Not get too locked into them, knowing that some of these young guys on my academy are coming up. So Wilhelmsen, proving that stamina, good, much needed. Speed's bad too. I don't know how much he's going to play right away. Maybe his stamina's not the most important thing. Questions here. What should I focus him on? I have some kind of offensive calling card. It seems drives and free throws were kind of his thing. So let's move this to attacking. See how that goes. His defense is pretty good. I don't know if I should keep trying with that. I'll just switch this to marking. He's still getting a little bit of both. And Rainson, slight improvement in his stealing ability. This guy's a defensive player, man. I'm running some sprints. Trying to get him faster at the idea being he might be able to play some shooting guard. His offensive skills are all pretty well rounded. I think if we get the defense, the speed up, he'll be ready, right? I mean, his marking's not that bad compared to other things. Speed's definitely an important one. I don't know if I go a 2-pointer or driving. He's kind of short, so I don't make him a jump shooter. Just a good scorer, basket getter. So that said, I still don't really know what the cutoff is, where the season starts, the new season turns over. So let's simulate to mom. Birthday, favorite person. I'm not trying to say like, I don't know, some of these answers could be people, could be password like to whatever. What am I trying to say? The keyword questions or something to get your password, and if I tell who I'm talking about, you might be able to answer. I don't know. I'm trying to make a big secret. Like stars. My notes I was writing on, I mentioned, is covered in crayon and coloring my daughter, of course, and couldn't almost 100% see where she was drawing stars and things. Whether she knew she was doing it or not. Pretty good. So, these long simulation breaks here. Wish I had something to say. I mean, I'm still contemplating where to go from here in this season, with an overwhelming lack of chat and me kind of making all these decisions on my own. I'm just dragging it out. I like to think through this stuff. There's so many damn players on this game. I'm pretty curious what kind of free agent bargains we can find. I don't know if this team is going to take into account that we're bringing in fellas into the Icelandic culture, like Milomировich had said he was going to take a while to adapt there. It's like, wow, it's a great place. The weather, maybe, the isolation being kind of far from, probably anybody who's not Icelandic is far from people where they live. Denmark, maybe. Alright, so it seems like a lot of stuff happened here. So, defensive rebound ability of Thomason is now slightly improved due to his transfer. He's a rebounding machine. He's got the marking, but not much offense. So, and he wants a bigger fee. We can't give him that money in good faith, knowing that last year he was hurt. He wasn't there when we need him. I mean, he's got jumping. I maybe reconsider, because is 150 a bargain? Will he stay for 150? He may not even take that. I'm almost certain that he won't. I think I gave him an offer earlier, like during the season. And that's when we're just ready to move on, because he's not very tall. This offense is not consistent. And yeah, I mean, he's been injured a couple times, so let's see what else we got. Agnerson slightly better in his ball handling. I'm just pretty excited to see some of these academy players come up after I have another year or two with them, because their defense is pretty much holding its own at this point. It's not the worst, and I can start to focus on trying to get their speed, and I'm not sure where to focus with this guy. Ball handling, he needs a shooting guard. I don't think I need to probably get too much on that, but looks like he might be a jump shooter in the making. I'll rotate through to see which things the guys kind of ramp up quicker on. It's kind of a theory I have. I'm not sure still if it's true. Maybe out thinking myself, probably out coaching myself. Asmundsson, where did he get? Slightly better in his stealing. So you see, I mean, this guy's turned into a 3-and-D specialist, and he gets quickness way up. If I would leave him on defending and 3-point pretty much in perpetuity from here, although his ball handling's like a 4. Not good for a guard. His passing ain't much better. So his focus has now changed after I said it should stay for the long term. But Milomировich shows a slight improvement in his free throw. Finally. We keep hammering away at it. I think I need to keep it on there with his inside scoring being pretty high. Kind of goes together, I feel. And Bjarnason, slight improvement in his drive. This is what we wanted. So maybe he was just close to going up because he had been working on that earlier, or maybe he is just geared to upskill in that once you finally, devote a training activity to it. But he jumped up pretty quick after I changed that. So I say I'm going to focus on his drives, free throw, and defending. Ball handling's an 8. I'm okay with that for now. He's on the team for 3 years, so maybe year 3 he's going to be playing a lot more, and the ball handling and passing will be more important. But right now it's all about getting him on the court, being able to defend and not get blown off. Get his speed up. The next thing, we need to shift towards speed. Probably just some kind of offensive. That's it for this go around. Just keep going, I suppose. I mean, as long as they're still showing all these guys on here, then I'm still thinking this is the off season of season 1. To June 30th. So this music is a little bit too sleepy time. Man, getting late quick. Down into an hour and 12 minutes. How much longer? Can I at least get this to the cutoff where it says season 2 to retire the off-season season 1 graphic for forever? Alright, more training progress, it looks like. Did I see some of these? I don't know if I went through all those. These, I don't know if I looked at. But good, yeah. And, I mean, this dude's starting to take off. This is all really good for him. Good for us, possibly. Well, Maravik getting power due to his string drum. I'll try to get him up to a 11 or 12 And then I'll focus on something else. Free throws, I want to get him up to 8 or 9 at least. I guess his defense and his rebounding is not dominant. And Bjornsson, in his interview for a local radio station, pointed out that even though his love for the club is strong, he is a professional. His security and career come first. I'll tell you what, Bjornsson. Defense isn't bad. You're in that very affordable range. But let's look at this. Augustin's a guard, possibly running Rainson as a shooting guard at times. Bjarnason is a guard. Bjornsson's just a guard. So he could play either. His ball. Yeah, I mean, he could be a backup point guard, ball handlings. Let's make him a deal. Let's do the math and see if he works. 10, 3, 13, 22, 33, 40. Did I do this? I think I already did this. This is 20, 31. Passes. Offense he doesn't pass. 15, 21, 25, 27, 38, 48. I think he passes. Do I have him on transfer list? Yeah, he is. Just 1 year. How old is he? 23. So 2 years. At 34. It's still gonna save me another 10K. Got no offense. Major concerns. If I can get him for 2 years, that's just another 10K that can go towards one of these. So we need to have I guess a little more of a scoring threat off the bench. We might need to invest. So let's, I guess, simulate a couple days and see what it says. This guy related to my player. They're both from Iceland. He wants a more active role in his team. They're in the Spanish league, Kazakhstan. Oh man, you know that was a league in here. They've got them all. That's awesome, and pretty high budget too. Look at the size of the stadium. It's hell. I want to get one of those teams and request that they change the team's trajectory, or whatever that one option is, where we basically just blow out the finances and bring in and get a team like that, sell out crowds. I don't know how you got to do that on here. KR, best team in the league, winning undefeated season, doesn't even get the sellouts in the playoffs. So this guy's got decent stamina, speed, passing, ball handling, like the kind of player you could use. But for 165, that'd be a Mike Cook replacement. We do need a pure point guard. Augustin is our point guard, but I'm not sure. This team might want to come home to the Icelandic island with us. Alright. We'll see if Bjornsson is down for it. Simulate a couple days. I'm wondering if this is based kind of like on the NBA, or maybe I just don't know that there is a standard in all basketball that like the July sometime is the end of the calendar year for them. I don't know. I feel like that's when free agency signings are allowed to happen in the NBA, so maybe it all connects. It will be nice if we get these dead contracts off the roster list and I can see accurate numbers for budget and stuff. See what's going on. Rainson, slightly better in his speed. This dude's gonna become a star for us, I think. He's also gonna probably want to start playing. His contract is paying him 47. He's worth 69, so I think it's definitely good to try and sign these dudes to multiple years. But if they're no good, I mean, they have to at least be good a little bit to sign them, to get stuck with them. Now, if they get better, you win. And if after 1 year they're not really getting better, you might be able to transfer list them, who knows. Somebody gives you some options, and it's panning out in this case. Before his contract ends, is basically when our championship window has to hit. I keep focusing him on speed for now. I don't know if I want to keep pushing the 2-pointer because he seems to be doing well there. marking. Oh, we'll change the music up too. It's starting to become a late night here. I really had an opportunity to grind a long night of gaming out, and I wasn't really counting on it, planning on it tonight. But I might be able to get a little bit more out. I'd like to see at least one other viewer other than my trusty standby, always there keeping me company, monitoring, making sure my stream stays up. But yeah, I'd like to at least see one person flicker on here, and then I could say, well, no, one new person got exposed to it tonight, I can go sleep, feel good. Let's just keep moving along here. Seems like a lot of developments, guys getting better, good things, exciting things. There's the note about Bjornsson wanting him to sign a new 2-season contract. Eliasson got better. It's on his way out though, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah, he's become a decent player. His speed being, well above average is kind of a selling point, I guess. But marking ability of Edmundson is slightly better due to his 24 gun. And that's my sorry, my brain just completely went to black. This dude's power and quickness and stuff is garbage. His speed though, you can get him in the next 2-3 years. The speed at a 12 or 13. These to 10. The rebounds are nice. I mean, I didn't realize he was getting better rebounding for a guard. That's great. But you get these up to 10, and then I'll try to get these up, but I'll get 3-point up to 12 or 13. I think he's going to be a good player. So we can count on our guards, I think, coming from the system. Maybe not having to sign anybody else other than a 1-year or 2-year like ace scorer or a decent shooter off the bench. Maybe a point guard. We'll see if Bjarnason or Bjornsson. Yeah, Bjarnason and Bjornsson. Let's see if this guy accepts our offer. That would in theory leave us with 513 to spend with 5 players to sign. I'm even wondering if I could roll with 11 and bring up another academy, 1 or 2 academy players. And that would pretty much everybody be a very serviceable player based on those salaries. A. Georgian shows a slight improvement in his defensive rebound. Nice. This guy's going to have to step his development up. I think he might have already been one of the ones that we had to make a decision on. And the decision was no. Defense is 8 plus minus 17. It's a full 10 off of the Wilhelmsen baseline. So no answer from Bjornsson. Push it to the July 4th holiday here. I don't think Iceland celebrates it though. Alright, more improvements. Wilmerson, slightly better in his blocking. Is this one of the fellows we lose to the academy graduation? I mean, his speed got up, his defense is just too poor. It's not too far off. Like offense is, let's see, 15, 25, 30, 35. That's what Wilhelm was. Vilge 34, well, I was 33. We said that his was unacceptably low, so it's scraping in that. Fringe worthy. But no. I mean, it would be a bargain. That'd be just one more player that, oh man, he's a liability with that defense, so no, I can't talk myself into signing one more cheap player. I don't know that I need to, because of the academy players that I could bring up, but those guys are going to be, I don't know that I have any academy players like I did last year who can play. They weren't great, they're on our team now and they're not great, but decisions everywhere. Alright, so wait for Bjornsson. Alright, more improvements. My song is now slightly improved due to his range blocking. Nice. Defense is now a 27 overall, which is the Wilhelmsen baseline. I'm glad I looked these numbers up and just kind of did that, because now I can make a lot of decisions based on what should I continue to improve. Rebounding is not a bad thing. But like defending, yeah, he needs to. I'm most tempted to make this marking. Because if he wants to play, he's going to have to get better that way. He's going to get faster too. I mean, one's pretty weak. Hopefully we can get that guy into a spot where he comes up onto the big club, but he might end up being one of the best players on the academy that sits at the end of the bench now. As we maybe leverage the affordability so we can sink a couple more bucks in these big boys that we want to sign. But Bjornsson is really not moving quickly with this decision. Or did I miss it? I mean, it's not in there, is it? I'll go back. So Mason Gunnarsson's showing some improvement. That's great for him. It really is. He's still low for the 12, 22, 25. He's kind of really good there. See what makes out. What is it? God, I moved to. No, not look, but read. That's what it is. I can't read. Slight improvement in his marking ability. There we go. He's on his way. I know he needs to work on his quickness still. Just do aerobics in general. So, that was that. Okay, go through grade, just find this. Thor wants Bjornsson to sign a new 2-season contract. That was on the 1st. It's now going to be the 7th. Okay. Nothing. No news. Well, Ragnarsson told newspapers he feels a little disappointed on his evaluation. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. I'm not going to pay him. His jumping skills are good. If that's beneficial in some way. Power's not. Running and passing are okay. Inside scoring non-existent. So you'd almost wish like this drive was somewhere else then. These are solid, but not wanting to pay that much. I guess I can now. But his age is. think I did the math wrong on that. It's 538. Without Bjornsson signing, there's 538. If Bjornsson signs, there will be, let's say, 500. And then we were going to sign 2 new starters for 200K apiece. So that would give us 9 guys. It's like $100 left. Get 250. 2 guys going for 50. So Randerson might be too much. And I'd rather go get lucky with a young guy on a long contract. So they're unhappy and they're not playing well anymore. So sorry that disappointed on your evaluation. We're not interested in it. I need to see if Bjornsson's thing at least says that there's a contract. What's a bigger fee? What happened to the contract? See, I don't even sign up for around there. 2 years ago, the next year you get that bargain. That's the original offer we gave him. That was so weird that the game just forgot. It's cool. Thanks, guys. Front office is on it. Maybe he just was trying to be polite. Didn't want to say no. Lots of load screens tonight. That's probably why people do not want. Maybe a leading contender for why people don't watch this. The other thing might be my raspy voice because I'm not drinking enough water. And all the technical glitches at the beginning, that probably didn't help. But I think I'm past that now. I feel like that's a fairly repeatable process. Consistently bad, whatever it might be, but finding something that doesn't annoy the shit out of me and constantly makes me have to worry about it during the time I'm trying to entertain or just play this game. I don't know if I try to entertain at this point, but track what's going on and just talk to myself to the point that if someone ever does get interested in this and wants to watch, you can at least see how this roster got to this point. I understand the first season was one of disappointment and learning for myself personally a lot. Bjornsson accepted the contract offer. Alright, so there's the 7th man of the 2018-2019 roster. So I'm doing the math. His 35K contract. Got 503. Okay. We need to get at least 3 players. Round this up to 10. We can have 2 academy. So we can go really like about 160 piece. I don't think there's any limits. And these guys are all back of the bench, kind of. Bjornsson can play a little bit. The other guys are going to develop. These next 3 dudes that we signed should all be starters or key contributors. Augustin's a key contributor. Mulamarovic, Marovic. That's 2. So that's probably the 5 starters. The 3 guys we're going to get, and those 2. Then Rainson off the bench. Einerson. That's our shooting guard, small forward / small forward, power forward. Bill Holmson's a small forward too. Anderson, the shooting guard. So they're all kind of lumped shit. The players that we get have to be a power forward center. Let's look at the Johnson slight improvement in stealing. Very good. These guys are becoming defensive studs. This team is starting to look and have the personality that Tord Gruson wants. And this guy looks like, you know, he could possibly win that steps on the court if needed, but he's in the shooting guard position, so pretty much everybody else is. Arnerson's not ready to play. I'm focusing on those layups. He's not improving. He's got to be on the marking or rebounding. Live without the rebounding. Passing's a 1. Probably should work on that at some point, but going to see if any of our big men might be contributors. Can any of these people contribute? Pearson's gone. We just saw Arnerson. This guy's defense isn't good enough, so Juliuson's out. Georgeson, this guy I think was leaving. Paulson's time's up too, and he's leaving. So we don't have anything. The whole academy's just bankrupt at the big position. So Can we bring in another Muamerovic? A guy like him? Not a bad guy to have off the bench for 50K. I think we can do that. I just still don't know where we are exactly with this season. When is season over? When is season beginning? So we'll just shoot 3 days, 4 days ahead. 5 days even. Let me get something to drink while we're waiting here. Some rave music for you. Change that. Listen to some real relaxing music now. I'll get something to do. Alrighty. Like 2 hours is my break point. And, keep the liquid flowing here, so I think we can pick up the pace a little bit with this. Get my bearings back where we were. I think these are all things that already happened. There's this new. The song is stealing abilities slightly improved due to his strength. Georgeson slightly better blocking. He's leading. Rainson, in his interview for an internet website, told that he hopes to be able to impress his manager. His hard work. I feel like he really has. He's pretty much put himself directly in our plans. I mean, as a starter, maybe a shooting guard. Let's see what Jorgensen did though. His numbers are still low. This fella's pretty much guaranteeing himself a chance to play soon. Be a nightmare handling the ball. Whatever. Two offensive tactics, but I don't really know whatever happens when you do those. So, I guess maybe we'll get some more. I'm a little scared to move beyond what's showing on the calendar. So we'll go to the 19th. It's 14th now. Way to spend this money, man. I don't think it's going to take long. Find well, we just said 3, maybe 4, depending on what kind of deals, good value we find. Alright, almost there, I believe. Sometimes it seems it goes faster than others. And that might be because there's not as many leagues active right now. I don't have to crunch as many numbers. I don't know. Okay. Not much happened. Nothing I can really tell. Junson slightly better 2-point shooting. This guy I really think is going to be a player eventually. He's 15. And marking, stealing isn't too bad already. Speed's not too bad. I'm already kind of at the second phase with him, like thinking that's not great numbers, but his defense is already at 26. And that's pretty much at the village baseline. Or benchmark, whatever we're calling it. A little bit of both. But that said, we gotta get this speed and quickness. That's not great. Stamina. Couple things to shore up, but this guy's on his way. Got 2, maybe 3 more years of him. And then Ragnarsson. This guy, I mean, he's getting better still. Makes me wonder, should I try to sign him? I need to sign the big names first, and then if I need to, I'll post that roster spot and go after Ragnarsson. Cat has come down to say hello. She wants to do. Okay, say hi. Alright, so I guess that's it for now. Let's just quick check on our guys, see where they're at. Is it good? Right. If I can spell his name right, I always put an O in Augustin. Okay. Let's go ahead and move. Not this many days. Switch this music over to Radio Coast to Coast because I don't ever listen to that anymore. I listen to it before I fall asleep. So I might as well listen to it now. It often is the thing that keeps me company when I stay up super late. Just as now officially becoming super late after 2:30 for me.
Well, for those of you who like YouTube, we have our own official YouTube channel. Take a look. I think you'll have something with it. Just click the YouTube icon at the top of coasttocoastam.com. It's free to search for. Just go to YouTube and when you are, search for Coast to Coast AM.
Oh yeah, now we're cooking. I don't know if that's true. Is this good TV? Is this good Twitch streaming? To have that talking in the background while I'm talking? Probably not, so. Bad idea. I'm not sure how much longer I'm going to crank along here. I thought by now I would be into free agent season, hunting, gathering, getting my guys, and then doing a couple of large, long sims, and kind of being right back season 2. But let's just relish the training updates for what they are. Bjornsson shows a slight improvement in his stealing ability. Feeling better about signing this fella. Now that, his stealing is so good, marking is not bad, he's pretty good to go. Speed is an issue. Stamina. Run sprints. His passing's not great. We really care that much. His ball handling's not bad already. Free throws or 2-point, 3-point. It's a 3-point. Yeah, I feel like the speed right now, the defense is decent enough. He's probably not too bad right now. What else happened here? Ragnarsson told newspapers that he feels a little disappointed on his evaluation. Yeah, we've heard that. Holmarsson got slightly better on his ball handling. Good, because you're not good. And during an online interview, Mulimirovic revealed he has a great difficulty to communicate with his different language-speaking teammates. That's not a good sign. He feels homesick. I don't know how that manifests. Is that going to be that his condition is never that great, so he's not going to improve as much? Right now, I'm hoping that he'll be off the bench, really. Let's keep with the same plan here. I guess we jump another. I smashed a bunch of keys there too fast. I'm just gonna go one there. So some training progress here. Those are just from yesterday. Proceed to next season. There it was. Or it is. There it is. It's right here. As you grow older and wiser, your skills increase at a rate of 1 point per season. Choose the skill that will increase this season. guess coaching, since I didn't didn't quite pan out the way I'd hoped. Me compensating for the coaching and using those points on other stuff that I can't compensate for, but I can't compensate for the coaching. The games that I tried, I think I might have hurt them more than helped. And you can't do that much. You can't really call plays and do double teaming, simple things like that. Very limited play set, defensive formations. Not much of a coaching game. Definitely more of a manager game. Alright, so this is some fun stuff. It's up to you to select a sports center for our team's summer training. Note that our remaining balance stands at 510K, and you can't select a center that costs more than that. Then why you show me the All-Star one for 630? What? I wish I knew what these things meant. Court. What's court mean? Like, is there a benefit to me valuing facilities over court? I don't know what the court, what the benefit or drawback to having a crappy court is. I'm gonna pick this one because the facilities are at least a 4. Save us some money. The one I picked, I guess. Let's do it. So what the chat gets for not being here, you missed this. I didn't know this was going to ask me to do this. What does this really matter? Will we ever even see this picture of the facilities again? No, probably not. But could have put it to a vote. People could have asked, what do you want me to do? Should I blow it out? Can't afford that. I have 4-star facilities. The court doesn't matter. I don't know. I don't know what benefit having a better court is. So, final decision. That's it. So, I have no idea what the roster situation breaks down, but I do see some, I believe, Icelandic national games. So, I'm sorry, I just keep getting myself confused by what's actually happening here. There's our new roster. And this roster is very subject to change. Just one season. Oh man. So now's the time, I guess, to find. Let's look at this roster one more time. Do I have new? Yeah, I think I have some new Academy. Icelandic. Not too bad, actually. I'm gonna get him 1 year. So here's a young guy at a position we need him. Benedictson. Oh man, look at his marking. 2. Power though, speed is workable. I guess he's already kind of there. Olsen. These numbers aren't bad. Some interesting variations here. I noticed that one guy was Romanian and this guy. We got some new young guys. Bill's been with us for a bit. I still think he'll eventually be a contributor. Okay, so new fellas here. What was I trying to do again? I know what I'm trying to do, but I'm trying to see. Okay, we've got 7 guys. Do we think Osmundson can start playing? Probably not. How about this Osmundson? If anybody's gonna be on the court on the academy, it's probably gonna be him. And Colbean too. Interesting. My youngest guys. All the same position too, so it's not super helpful. Probably this guy, I guess. Carried 2 academy players. Alright. Not sure where to start. Guess. What are we thinking? Power forward? Power forward. Let's go to my short list. Do any of these guys have? No, they do not. No free agency here. Isaac Humphries was a guy that we had on our short list. Look at his defensive numbers, power. 19 years old. Make him contract? What do you think? His 2-point is inside score. I think this guy's alright. And for that money, let's do it. I'm gonna give him 2 seasons. Well, he's young. I'd like to lock him up. But I think that freaking facilities took a lot of my money. What was that? Oh, stuck. Player worth 72. 75. I'm gonna do that. It's a 750. We might be in some trouble. We thought we were going to really upgrade, and now we are stuck. Facilities money. I don't know if I should even sign this guy, but let me do it. See, maybe he won't accept it. Alright, any other shortlist guys? Center. A lot cheaper. So that's what this is going to come down to, is us having to be super cheap. He has quite a few positions. Mostly front court. I don't think we need a center now, especially if we land that guy. Maybe a point guard. Alright, let's see if anything comes up. I don't imagine anything for point guard was going to come up because of the way it's kind of tilted forward. Center, power forward. So, trying to think what's going to be best for the team long term. Getting somebody young that can develop. Let's see how good or bad this guy is. 2035. That's pretty solid. I like this guy. Speed isn't great. Quickness. We can work on those things. 27K. That's nice, right? I'm gonna get this guy long term. We don't know if he wants to play here. If he's steel, if he's 3 years. I feel like 2 years is probably more realistic, but I don't have much coming in the big man department. It is dire times. Research. Alright. I don't know if we're going to try one more with a forward that can maybe play both. I've got enough money that I should probably just focus on one more really good player. He's going back. Kill is definitely everything's degrading on him. Steam garbage. Stay away from him. The guy that we already put a contract offer to. This isn't bad. That's not good. Free throws are okay. Jumping is pretty awesome. It's a little slow. I don't know about this guy because his age, he's kind of there. Robertos Alexandru, Cypriot. Line blocking 10, marking decent, and the rebounding. Ball handling's not bad for a power forward. Inside, drive. I like this guy. Speed's not bad, stamina. 17 years old. One guy for 4 years. Yeah, it's definitely late in my decision-making skills are slowing down. Now if I simulate too much, I'm starting to get into games here with Netherlands and Ukraine. Let's put them on the short list, because if the guys I've offered don't accept, he'll be the guy. Otherwise, I can come down here and find the most expensive, best one. This Serbian dude, 22. I don't see him as any better than the guy I was going to get. I mean, not even as good. I think this needs to be a guard. Maybe a small forward. I think power is a real big deal for these fellas. Still at least 9. Speed needs to be at least 10. Quickness at least a 9. He throws at least a 10. Well, that is a very narrow list. We were expecting to pay some money, and that's the best they can get. What? This is because of the height? I think that might be it. Got some interesting names here. Domagaj, Roleta. See, this guy looks like he's ready to go. Add it to the short list there. Let's see what else. The Argentinians. Bad. Better than this guy, I think. So it looks like Belgium, very successful Belgium team. You want to pick up Thomason? They have power forward. They're paying. I don't know if Thomason's even going to be a starter. So let me see that again. God damn. This guy, I mean, he can score. I did put him on the short list, right? So if he wasn't on the short list, then I would have sworn on him. He's taller too. I don't know why. It's all I can find. What's the thing that's, I don't know the demand that's so over the top. Other than, I mean, just a limited amount of people out there from a free agent perspective. Now I see what was going on. Worth amount was restricted. Player from KR. Opportunity to take something from them. Ball handling, driving, not too bad. Not too expensive. I don't recall exactly how much I have money-wise. I should look at it. So I've got 97K, it looks like. This guy's not a scorer quite like we need him to be. These guys are still not really available. Transfer listed though, so how do I do this? The club is interested in transferring this player. Here are the details. I can't do it. I might have been able to do it before that surprise facilities cost. Came out of nowhere a little bit. So let's take this player search up a notch. Oh. Two guys. Jeremy Dunbar. Score, not too bad. This is not good. It's a little older than we like. Robbins. Victor Cleveland Robbins. Like this. This is the guy. I want to like look up and see research, you know, like is he a good guy? But I don't think it matters like that in this game. At least do some research. LTH Castings, Slovenia. Look at the contracts. Maybe their contracts, their team's not full, just like ours. Yeah, mostly is. Nino Lorenzo Williams. I'm not sure. Maybe already. Doesn't look too bad. $24 years old. Jumping's decent, quickness, speed, can work with all that. Defense is already above average, good start. Ball handling for a small forward. Two-point scoring and stuff. I like what's going on. Give him the contract. One year. How old is he? 24. $95K, we're floating it out there. Alright. Let's see the short list of ours now. Couple of guys. I'm kind of kicking myself that I offered to Cerritos. If he says no, I don't know if I've got the money to get Alexandru. Till season starts, maybe. Let's go a couple days, see what happens. Shit, I can't move that many days ahead because of the Netherlands game. That's what we'll do is, oh boy, season budget has been decided. Player contracts have been paid. Feel free to modify all other expenses in any way you wish. Please be aware that what is decided today cannot be changed later in the season. Yeah. Pending transfer expenses. I don't know what that is. It's kind of a big deal there, and I spent some of that money on these contracts. I should have probably set that budget first. I could have jacked the shit out of the training. Start just developing bad players into something good. Oh man, last day to submit the Icelandic 12-player roster. Okay. He's a tall point guard. Okay. I don't know what I'm supposed to set for this. There's transfer fees in addition to the contract. I don't want to pay that money. I don't have that money. I don't know what I'm supposed to do right now, so. Training progress for everybody, looks like. What is going on? Damn. Schedule has been fixed. Start off against Selfoss, nice. Hopefully they're an easy win. St. John, team that sent us home last year. We definitely hold it against them. Grindavik, Walker, Snaffle. You just wonder how much rollover, turnover their rosters are going to have too. I need to wade through this list of stuff. Note to wish you good luck and a great season. Please don't forget that today is your last chance. Yeah, should have done that much earlier. Jorgensen got slightly better in his power. Yeah. I know he's working on that, but any kind of improvements, it's all good. Anderson got slightly better in his 3-point. Man, we're finding some guys that can score. He's getting it together, I think. Speed still needs some work. That's good stuff. Augustin is now slightly improved due to his training. Nice. Let's just round him out. I'm working on free throws. Worried about his contract. Why would you be worried? He's getting paid a good chunk. Well, not really compared to what he thinks he's worth. I kind of want to renew it, but I don't think I have the money to do it. Yeah, we can't do that this season. What they've done to our contract expenses, that's ridiculous. The budgeting has gotten much smaller. I don't even know. And they're just going to get pissed. The players that I want to sign are going to pull that bullshit everybody else did at the end of the season when I try to sign them. Mulemerovic is 2-point shooting. I still think this guy's going to be pretty solid. We could have a decent front court going if we get any of these people we've tendered offers to. Quickness of Bjarnason slightly improved. I think we hit goal with this guy, it looks like. The way that he's developing now. Slightly better in his free throw. Yeah. Okay. Wilhelmsen has slightly improved due to his speed. Nice. Very important. Yeah, it's free throw scoring. Beautiful. I don't know how that's his training program. Not focused on free throws. Here's the news of our offer to Humphreys, Zacharias, I should say. If one of those two don't accept, then I think we've got a chance. This guy's pretty cheap, but this fella, if he rejects it, we're going to have a little extra money to play with, and I think I know what we can do. Get that kid from Cypriot. What's Anderson saying? In his interview for a local radio station, pointed out that even though his love for the club is strong, he is a professional and a security and career come first. So Anderson shows slight improvement in his stamina. I want to give this guy a bigger contract, lock him up for a couple years. I can't. I don't have any money at all. They hit me with these surprise expenses. Augustin shows slight improvement in his free throw. That's good. I think I already saw those numbers. Rainson, slight improvement in his quickness. Yeah, his quickness is pretty good. I think what else you should be working on. Sprints get a speed up, but attacking, defending. Work on the stamina, I guess. She's starting to improve his 3-point scoring too. That's really good. That's really nice. So we got scouting reports now for who? Who is this? I don't understand. Isn't this the next game right here? Yeah, that's referencing the club's first match. I thought at one point this showed like a rank. Am I wrong about that? I just don't know how good the Ukraine is. Alex Lynn. That's pretty good. Yanko? Who's this guy? Not bad. Looks like the score. This guy is not the score. Alex Lynn's gonna cause problems. This guy's older, kind of falling apart. Round robin tournament. So I guess we're gonna walk it up the first Icelandic national team game. Hopefully we have the rest of our squad nailed down, but I mean it's not a huge deal. Yeah, 2 of the guys said no. But we did get Sakaritis. All sorts of info flying around here now. All national teams will participate in the upcoming Euro qualifiers. B have submitted their final rosters. We did secure Theodoros Sakaritis, 21-year-old. And got him for a pretty good deal. It's like immediately time to get on the defensive improvement wagon. Passing is not bad. Driving and inside is pretty good. But, I'm gonna work on his driving. There's layups, I guess. Let's add him to the list here. We're trying to figure out how these last few dollars need to be spent. Our club's really starting to become kind of a national conglomerate, I guess. A lot of cultures that maybe hopefully get along. So yeah, all those numbers and budgeting I was trying to do were pointless. This guy's here for a while, so alright. Humphreys rejected offer, feels he deserves more money. Robbins, do we want to go back after him? Let's put my short list. I feel like we gotta go after this guy. Even though he's a power forward, he's not very big. He can play small forward, power forward. Maybe. Did the other guy we just get have any chance of playing in the center? No, not really. Maybe in our league it's shorter. Based on the matchup, it could work. Kid from Cypriot. Seems like he could be a star in the making for really cheap. His scoring is next level kind of for our league. I'll do it. His ball handling and stuff. I think he could possibly, realistically, play some small forward. Oh, wow, this kid's young. He's really young. We at 40. And I've got 130 left for what? I'm not sure. Okay, so that's potentially our number 9 roster spot. How much money do I have though? Shit. Maybe I can afford Rollins. Got 130. Like he's got a contract offer now. Shit. I don't know what I just did there. Tried to get an aggressive offer. Shoot. What else do we got going? Anybody else that we thought we should throw an offer out to? Lorio or Buemo? Let's see what happens money wise. I got 75 still. I feel like this is low. Well, we put out 2 offers. Let's just see if they accept it. Now I've got that big chunk of money still. One more player, I think. Gotta get 10, so we'll see how this breaks down. I might end up getting caught playing these national games or simulate these national games before I get through this. Both of these guys are considering. Agnerson shows slight improvement in speed. Very good. I think 10 is decent, at least for now. Flip this around. Training activity for defending. Sounds good. Alright, I guess we're right here now. It's like, there we go. Netherlands, first Icelandic national team game. So this is August 13th. Day after my nephew's birthday. What are they calling this? The Euro qualifier Bs. Okay, something to look forward to here. See what is going on, right? Here it is. I'm not 100% familiar with everyone on my team. We do know Thomasson. We have some familiarity with Thorstensen. Just vaguely know Vilhelmsen from his height, I guess, but his time in the Spanish league he keeps talking about. Atlee Adelstensen, I don't know. Any names on the American team or the Netherlands team we recognize? Not really. So let's do it. Okay. And we got pounded. Holy shit. Big ol' L. I don't know if this is a sign of how bad the national team is. I don't know how to improve it. I can remove players from the national team. Once I don't have the national team full, maybe I'm able to remove players then. Or, I mean, if I remove a player and it's not full, I can add. But yeah, even with Stephenson from KR, pretty sure I couldn't get the job done. Not a good start to the national team coaching career for Tor Greason. What has happened here? One of our offers was rejected. Proveta didn't respond to it. Well, he took this offer from Kataja. Finland now. Well, he signed a long term too. Shit. Slight improvements for Asmundsen's quickness. Much needed. So we're having a hard time getting these last two dudes. I really feel like this guy is like the future here. Defense, his rebounds are solid. He can score inside and drive already. Don't know that we want to throw all this money at this guy. Do we? He's got an offer now too, so I gotta hurry. This guy has a score. So we still need either another power forward or a center. Maybe we can get a stud. We need something. I don't think Sacaritas is going to be the fix. Is this the Greek Freak's brother? I think we know what to do. Put this guy out an offer. Let's go big with him. Player worth 91K. Wait, why is that? I still have 62K to go after one more player. That money, I think I can get one of these guys. Do I need a shooting guard? I need a point guard more. Go back to one of the guys we originally found, American boy. If I put him in for 55, I want 3 years from him. Oh, we did that Let's see if anybody bites. This could be the end of the off-season spectacular. We're definitely bringing it down to the last home stretch here with the, well, if I remember, there was a big gap between that first friendly match and the rest. And it doesn't look like Iceland's going to make it far in the national qualifiers, Euro qualifiers. Right. A couple guys considering offers. We've got a game with Ukraine. I don't know what to do with this roster, man. It ain't good. Daniel Salamander was a big part of the last game. State's not so good. Three-point shooter. Both these guys are better than. Wait. What just happened? Yeah, it's doing some weird things, switching them on me. Tell it to do something, but it's doing different than I would tell it. I don't know how I'm supposed to work with that. It's changing it on me. Put this guy down here. Put him there. Well, they've settled that. I don't know. It doesn't want me to change them. Let's just go ahead and see what we do against Ukraine. We've got Alex Lim. Does that improve our chances playing against him? I could try to coach. I mean, if I lose this one, the next national game, I'll coach. I don't think I've captured any of this magnificent coaching simulation. Yeah, we're getting pounded again. I tried to adjust the roster and it wouldn't let me, so I don't know what else I can do. Yeah, Alex Len had a pretty big game. He almost got a double-double, which would have been the first I've seen. Free throws, he was crushing it. Well, he didn't crush it, but making 8 of them. 20 points in 23 minutes. That is over. And looky here. We did it. We got our lineup. We got the whole thing. It ends up being Isaiah, yeah, I guess you call him Ice. What team did he pay for? Serbia, FMP, which is a pretty good team. Yeah, I think he's gonna be a nice addition there. Him and Mula Marovic. I got him for a while. So Isaiah Austin. Welcome to the team. And welcome to lovely Iceland. 55 a year. But the big story. We have Kostas Antetokounmpo on a free transfer. So he's with the club for 4 years. And I think the future's bright for him. Ball handling or marking? I see we focus on the ball handling. This kid could be a turnover machine. But damn, if we don't feel like the future's in a good spot there. 115. It's going to be a good contract, hopefully, 3 years from now. And the other thing is, we should have more money next year to get 1 or 2 guys. We just need to lock them up before the season. It seems like that's the way to go. Because then you run out of money quick. Alright, we're getting completely annihilated in the Euro qualifiers, the national team. I don't know where to go with that. But we have quite an interesting little squad now. It's saying we only have 9. I don't think it's showing the 2 guys we just signed. No, they're here, they're just not active. Is Austin better than Mula Marovic? He's better jumping, better quickness. He's faster. Power's not as great, but stamina's better. Free throw. 2-point. Austin can shoot the 3 a little bit too. He's inside driving. Yeah, I think he's the starter now. And does Ante Kumpo play? Small forward? Our guard situation becomes pretty thin. What if Ante Kumpo plays power forward? I don't think Bjornsson should be on the floor. Man, this thing's gonna probably give me a holy hell when I try to set this line up. Yeah. Just do this for me, please. Why won't it? It doesn't like. Here we go. I personally, I feel pretty solid. I think that this team can do some things. Why is Austin a medium injury risk? Well, I hope I didn't get damaged goods here. I have a guy who struggles with injuries, and that kind of looks like what we got. I want to play the game, but at the same time, that's season 2. And this is supposed to be the off-season spectacular. I think we've done it. I think we've wrapped it up. This is a young squad. I mean, real young. 21, 20, 20, 21, 24, 23, 23. Those are the veterans. Mula Maravic's 20. And then we've got 17, 17, 15, 16. I mean, that's like a freaking JV basketball team there. And most of these guys are locked up on contracts, so let's see what that screen looks like. This is the first time there's been some core or some kind of continuity. These young guys also should continue to develop and claim some more playing time. Bjornsson's not terrible, and he's definitely here on a friendly contract, 1 year. And Iverson, he wants a bigger fee. What's he complaining about? This is a year for him to develop and see where he goes, and we'll try to probably offer him an extension for next year. His 3-point shooting is solid, and he's come a long way. Got good quickness. I think that's a guy to fold into the plans, but there it is, man. This is the roster. I think it's a much improved roster over previous year. I know Antetokounmpo has a little bit of a drop off in his defense compared to Mike Cook, but all of the physical is much better. Stamina is better. I think his free throw and 2-point shooting are pretty much the same. It's the 3-pointer that he might be a little lower. But yeah, I think this squad has got some high hopes, some optimism. The bench seems much more deep. We had on the old bench, Einerson would come off, Jorgensen was there, but we were having to play Bjarnason and Wilhelmsen because of the lack of height and any kind of foul trouble that we would get into. We didn't have anybody to back up Molomerovic or Thompson. We got Sakaridis, who I think could develop, be a pretty solid player there. There's much more three shooting too. Austin and Sakaridis having some ability to stretch it, shoot it from outside. And Antetokounmpo, decent 3-point shooter. His continued development of Rainson. The bench does have a lack of offense, so when the second unit comes in, it's Einerson's game to score, and Molomerovic's going to have to be a bigger contributor offensively. We'll get him coached up, you know we will. So I think that brings us to a close. The off season is officially off, and our first friendly against my team doesn't want to play any more Netherlands teams after the national qualifier game, but here they are. Defensive cohesion is pretty strong. Their roster looks like it's a bunch of old people. Jay Gordon's definitely the stud. Jamont Gordon. We paid a decent chunk. It's been all over playing some big leagues, big league Euro teams. Very similar to the Mike Cook mold. So that's what we're up against. other than that, the rest of their lineup is kind of real weak three-point shooting. I want to take it inside, and I've got a team now that I'm not 100% afraid when I see teams that got some big guys. So what it actually means, we'll find out shortly. And do the math. I've done enough math, I think, tonight. But let's say 7 hours to 11:30 a.m. and then add 12 more. So I'll be seeing you again probably about 19 hours. Maybe a elegantly slightly buzzed version after karaoke, post karaoke season 2 kickoff. And we'll get serious about our training programs as we wade into the almost 2-month gap between the friendly competition and the actual first game action of 2018-2019 Dominos deildin Icelandic Premier League basketball. And at this point, the season is looking bright. I finally feel like I have some control over this team, and I'm still a little bit miffed that the contract budget's $300 just disappeared. If I had that roster, I'm sorry, I can't even talk anymore. But if I had that extra money, there's no telling what this roster could have looked like. There would have been probably, when you look at the center, Austin, and our power forward, we probably would have had those guys, but then one more $200,000 or $300,000 player, which would have been a major splash in our little league. And the lesson learned is get those contracts squared away at the end of the year. Get all of that for next year already scheduled on the books. Don't run out of time. You're trying to extend and making cheap offers, but at the same time, I've got to get this balance up. I only got 3,000, and I need that to be at least like 60 or 70 to be able to make moves like with Augustin and keep him locked up, because he's worth a shit ton. Antetokounmpo, we're actually overpaying, but then like Rainson's a big discount. Austin is pretty much getting paid what he's getting paid a little more than what he's worth. But we've got him for 4 years. And Zacharias is actually worth $53,000, it says, where we paid $30,000 for him. Our offense and defensive cohesion have taken a major hit. That concerns me. I'm assuming that's just because the teams never played with each other, and that'll go up maybe. But removing some of those long-time Icelandic guys from each other seems to have hit the reset button with the culture and the team chemistry. Can toward Greece and bring it back. One of his first major tests outside of the playoff shellacking that he couldn't hold up to. And now also the national team falling flat on their face in their first couple games. I don't even know where to begin with changing the roster. What can you do? Can you see if I? Yeah, there's nothing you can do. Remove. If I add somebody or remove somebody, what happens? There's not an option for any of these guys to add to the national team, because I feel like this fella should be on there. And probably even push as far as to get. I understand. Nah, I don't know if these guys would be improvements. I'm going to leave this here for now. Don't know what else I can really do until we officially declare this season 2. And with that said, we'll be back here in about 19 hours and we'll get our first glimpse of what the 2018 Thor will look like. And get our big boys, our front court out there for the first time. And be a year where maybe we don't get dominated by every team that has some bigs that can score. And we've got a lot of versatility now with Antetokounmpo. I think being able to play forward and power forward is going to be a difference maker for sure. And then Rainson being able to improve his game to play small or shooting guard for us. We can switch this up a little bit, a few different ways based on matchups and how all that works out. So with that, I'm going to bid you adieu. Do come back tomorrow. Follow me, for crying out loud. I'm doing this for the heck of it, I guess, at this point. But just make me feel like someone wants me to do it and follow. Thanks so much.